Hello everyone, welcome back to MuleSoft Real-Time project, session number 24. Before going to start the session, just recap of the last session. The previous session we have discussed about what is MUnit, okay, and what is the importance of MUnit, how to create MUnit test cases by using auto record option, and what is code coverage, and how to generate code coverage report. Okay, these are the points which we have discussed in the last session. Okay, today's topic, so code optimization for account creation API. Okay, any API. Okay, so how to optimize the code, how we can reduce the connectors. Okay, so that is the reason I have used many connectors in this first API. We'll see now. Okay, and after that, today I'm going to explain one more time for how to create. Okay, not how to create MUnit, and code coverage. So once it is completed, we'll talk about security policies, then error handling. So these are the pending tasks. Okay. So anyway, in today's class, we are not going to talk about this one. So we are going to see code optimization and create MUnit and code coverage. So this is the sample report which we have generated in the last session. Okay. So if you run the test cases, okay, this is what we have seen, right? See, so everything you can see it in a green. Okay, green color. And one more thing here I can write, okay, how to mock the data, how to mock data. Okay, this is what we have seen from the previous session. Today's class, we are going to talk about this one. Okay, let's get started. Let me close all the tabs here. So if you observe this one, okay, customer account creation API. So this is for Gmail flow. Okay. So as soon as if the user is enters, okay, if the user enters a value, the flow will come here. See here, we have created multiple variables. Customer name, bank, type, branch name, email, account number. Here we have created one empty list. Here we have created for input payload, those kind of stuff. Okay. So instead of creating, okay, we'll see. Instead of going to create this many variables, we can create one variable and we can use that. Okay. So that is what we are going to see now. First, let's open create account, right? Customer create account. Okay, let's go here. See how many query parameters it is available here. There are 4. Okay, customer name, bank, type, and branch name. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, there are 6 attributes we are passing from payload. So total how many? 10. Okay. Let me open, see here. So first we are creating empty list. Again, this empty list we are using here. Okay. So how we can overcome this issue? Okay. We'll go step by step. So empty list, right? So here you can create where input values. Okay. Input values. On a empty array, you can keep it. See, even this is also not required. Anyway, at the last, I'm going to tell you how to take input payload from starting to ending of the flow. Okay. Instead of using variables here. Okay. Instead of using variables. Okay. Let me keep it in a debug mode so that we can easily modify. Add breakpoint here. One more breakpoint here. You can run in a debug mode. See, only for empty list and all, so no need to create one variable. Okay, we can remove this. So now one it is removed. Okay, just observe. Input payload. Where's dot input payload. There is no variable, right? Okay, so directly we are going to store it into input values instead of this one. See here itself in the data wave itself, we can create the variable. So there is no variable. So that is the reason it is giving us an error. Now input values, payload. Okay. Okay. Still it is running. Just also. Okay, open console. Or you can go to Postman. Okay. Anything is going to work. Postman or Thunder client. Okay, just let me provide. Okay. I'm going to send now. See, as soon as if you send, okay. See, as of now, basic authentication, it is not implemented. So even if you provide any dummy or if you give spaces, it will work. See, it came here. The request and all, okay, fine. Create customer API begins, the input is okay, see. account number, ATM pin, IFSC code, deposit, mail ID, and contact number. So this is our payload. Again, it's very important. It is our payload. This is our attributes, I mean input parameters by using query parameter. Okay. Attribute.query parameters, you can able to get those values. If you see here, see payload. What are the values it is available? Okay. This is our payload now. Next one, attributes. If you go to attributes, okay, here you can see here we can see, here we can see the values. Okay. So if you want, I will copy paste into a notepad. Okay. Or else you can open here itself. There is a query parameters. What is the size? Size of query parameter is 4. So this way we need to debug. Okay, fine. Let's go to F6. Okay. Now customer name. Customer name, we are going to store the value. See here. So every attributes. Okay. See here we have created multiple variables for 4 attributes. I mean 4 query parameters. Okay. Let's see how to minimize this. First, we'll talk about input payload. So because the input payload is going to override here. So whenever we perform DB operations or transform message, okay, update or insert, the payload is going to override. So that is the reason we are going to store it into one variable. Okay, one variable. So what is the logic? Okay, this one, right? Okay, Mule designer. Evaluate data wave expression. Okay, let me evaluate. Let me open this one. See if you implement this code, okay, this script, you will get these values. But I want it in a map object format. Okay, see, even if you want to practice or if you want to try any data wave, what you can do, you can go with the debug mode and you can do evaluate data wave expression here. Or else directly you can go to Google and type data wave playground. Data wave playground. Let me write here. See why I'm explaining both the ways. Okay. So if one option is won't work, you can go with another option. So now this is your payload. So here, if you perform reduce, see, if you keep only payload, how it will be? It will be in a list format. Now, list or array, okay? Array format earlier. Okay, now it will be in a only object. So now what you can do? You can take this reduce. See, if you have multiple, see reduce. So what is the use of reduce? This you have already learned in your previous sessions. See, it's going to combine the values. Okay, it's going to combine and it is going to create another object. Okay, so there might be one interview question always. Okay, so instead of this one, okay, I'll okay, first I'll go this one. Suppose 1 2 3 4 and 5. So if you type payload, you'll get everything. Just observe here. Reduce item C. What is the count? 5. Now the count is 5. But I want to add these values 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Item plus accumulator. Just observe now what is the output you will get. See 50. Suppose if you change the value here, the value also it will get changed. 7 plus 4, 11, 14, 16, 17. See, this is one of the interview question. Okay, by using reduce, we can do that. But our requirement is different, right? So we are in the middle of this one. Okay, so what you can do, you can go there. So wherever you're writing, okay, just use this. Okay, just use this and type evaluate. See, now it is changed. Now it is changed. Now you can use this input payload anywhere. Okay, now we can use this input payload at the entire project because we have created as a variable. Now, even I don't want to create this many variables. So what we can do is, okay, I'll create one here. So instead of input payload, I'll keep it as okay. First, let me write it here so that you can easily copy paste. Okay, evaluate expression. Okay, there is one variable I'm going to create. It's a timeout. Okay, fine. Okay, bank type. Okay, this is one thing. Just observe here. So what you can do? So customer name. So instead of creating multiple variables, customer name colon attributes dot query forms dot customer name. Okay, this is one field. Now, what are the fields it is coming? Let's go there. Customer name, bank, see from where it is coming. So this value also attributes dot. See the same thing. See here also we have written separately, right? See, or else what you can do, you can copy it here. Okay, 2 is done. Now type. Okay, which type? Okay, I want to keep it as ACCT type. Okay, account type now. But from attributes, how it is coming? It is coming as attributes dot query forms dot type. See earlier we are going to keep it as separate variables for everything, but now how we are using, we are going to keep everything in a single variable. Okay, one for payload, one for query parameters. So branch name. So this is very important. So we should not create unnecessarily variables and all. Okay. Okay, fine. let me copy this. Anyway, the trigger, it is not coming. Okay. So what I will do, simply I'll copy this. I'll keep it into one of the variable and I will remove rest of the variables here. So I'm going to input attributes. I will keep it. Okay. So as of now, okay. Just you can remove this one. Click on done. Okay. See, instead of writing separately for each and every value, what we are doing, just we are creating one object here. Okay. Now what we can do, we can remove this. Just you can give right click and delete. That will also work, or else there is a delete option here. Okay. Branch name. See why this email and account number? So because anyway we have already storing into INP payload. Okay. So now we can remove this also. See earlier there were 8 to 9 variables. Now we have minimized. Okay. This is called optimizing the code. Okay. Now, so wherever we are using, okay, just go to one by one and verify account. So how it is processing. Okay. This is very important. See payload dot account number. Okay. The account number is storing in where? Okay. Anyway, the payload is not going to change it. Okay. That you can keep it, or else what you can do, input values, right? INP payload. INP payload dot account number. So before this, whenever we are going to use, right? Okay, see why it is showing this error, because this is an variable. So what you can do, Control X, vars dot, see, input payload dot. So it will give you the auto suggestions. Okay, account number we need to pass. Okay, now where is this bank? Bank is not available. Okay, see there is no bank at all. Vars dot, bank name will be available in input attributes dot bank. See this one, it is available. See, we have created two separate variables. One for query parameters, one for payload, the values which we are going to pass. Okay. You have to make sure to create variables instead of using multiple variables. Okay, we can use this now. Okay, verify account whether it is exist or not. This is going to work fine. So there is a scenario transform message. Just observe here. I'll stop and I'll debug later. See, because now we are getting errors, we have changed the variables names. Might be that is the reason. See what you need to print here. Account number already exists with the bank, please try with different account number. Okay. So this is what you want to try. So for this one, so it's not required payload or map or something. Okay. This is not required. Okay. Now this is a message. Okay. Account. So where to take account number? So it is available in variables vars dot input payload dot vars dot input payload dot account number. You can make it as string. String. Okay. One is done. Now, where is bank available? Vars dot input attributes, not input payload. Okay. Input attributes dot bank. See now there is no errors. Okay. That's fine. Again, we'll come into insert. This is very important here. Just observe. So how we are mapping. So here also it is not required. Vars dot input payload dot map. Okay. So whatever we are performing, so that is not required here. Just observe here. I'll remove. I'll keep only this object. Okay. Now, so if you see here, there is a input payload and input attributes. Okay. Input payload and input attributes. So customer name, where it is available, where's dot. So you have to select like this. Okay. Customer name will be available in attributes, I think. Let's go here. See attributes. Okay. Attributes, it will be available for. Okay. We'll do that. Where's dot input attributes dot customer name. Where it went. Now again, where's dot input attributes dot bank. Next, variable dot input attributes dot account type. Okay. This is one of the account type. Now branch name. Where's dot input attributes dot branch name here. Okay. Now this one is done. Now you want to pick these values. See, or else there is an option. So here we can directly do drag and drop. Okay, let me remove this so that we can able to understand. Suppose branch name, simply I'll keep it as dummy value 1111. Just observe, take this value and do drag and drop. Now you can remove the previous one. Okay, 11, so that your issue is will get resolved. Okay. Now customer account number. So it will be available where? It is available in vars dot input payload. Okay, this you have to copy paste everywhere. Okay. So instead of using dollar $input payload.atm pin, mail ID and contact. See why we are doing this? Because we have removed unnecessary variables. So these are like enhancements. Okay. So that is the reason I have created in a different way in the starting. Now we are going to modify. Now, no need to use this one. Just keep it in a object format. Status, just observe here. Account created successfully with account number. So where it is present, account number and all. Where's dot input payload dot account number string. Okay, this is done. Now go to flow reference. So what we are doing here, we'll see. Gmail flow, see where's dot bank. There is no variable at all. Okay, just remove this before sending an email. Email body, congratulations, your account is created successfully with account number. See, there is no variables. Okay, there is no where's dot account number. Where's dot the account number, it will be available. The auto suggestions are not coming. Careful. Account number, it will be available in payload. Okay, where's dot in np payload. Account number. Where's dot bank. There is no variable for this. Where's dot input payload dot bank. Okay. So this is one way of doing. Okay, this is one way of doing. Let's see. Fonts template we are using here. So inside this, okay, where's dot email body. Okay, we are using email body here. Okay, that's cool. And one more thing. See, there is no where's dot bank. Where's dot input payload dot bank. See, wherever you have removed the variables, okay, you have to use this option, and we will debug once. Just click this one and go to edit. There is no where's dot email, where's dot input payload dot email. Okay. I think everywhere you have to use it as string. A string is there. Okay, a string. Okay, full. So now it is done. I'll tell you, okay, at the last, instead of using input payload into separate variable, I want to use the payload, okay, directly. So that also I'll tell you. Okay, first let me explain this way. Now try to understand. So as soon as your program is started, this is our payload, correct? This is our payload. So whatever you are going to pass it via body, even Postman or Thunder client, okay? See here, what is the payload? It is an empty. So here, what is the payload? There are some attributes, okay? So as soon as your API started and you are sending an input, you can assume input you are passing from 6. Okay, this is your payload now. Now it will reach here. Okay, let me minimize this. So as soon as if you hit, right, okay, if you hit, what is the payload? It's a six values. I mean 6 attributes or something. So once it came here, it is going to change your payload. So first time it is 6. Suppose if there is no accounts, it will make it as 0. So it's like it is going to override. 6 is going to override with 0. Okay, this is one scenario. And another scenario, payload you are passing 6. If there is a value, okay, there is a value. So how many attributes? There are 14 attributes for there. 6 is going to replace with 14 in this case. Okay. So in that case, we are unable to insert. We are unable to insert. Suppose I want to insert. 6 is already replaced with 0. So you can't insert the values. Okay. That is the reason we are going to take another variable and we are going to keep everything here. So again, if you see this code, it's very simple. Just create one array. Okay. From payload to array, just move it. And again, you can add the values by using reduce to make it as object. Okay. Make it as object. And it is different one. It's like input attributes. Just take one variable and make all those variables into, okay, keep all those variables into one variable. Okay, this is one thing. Now, let me hit now. See, it came here. So you can observe. So what is the payload? You can observe. See, this is our payload. So what is the size? Okay. It's like 1. So we have one object, but so inside this, how many values it is available? 1, 2, 3, 4, something. Okay. There are 6, it is available. Next, click on F6. Okay. It will go and verify in a cache. Okay, fine. DB call it is happening. See, verify account. See, just observe this payload. Observe this payload. We do have these values. So after performing snowflake verify account option, see what is our payload. We'll see now. See, now payload size is 0. But you are passing the values. But you are passing these values. The scope is changed. So that is the reason the payload values we are going to keep it here. But I want to use the payload values, whatever the 6 attributes, account number, name, and those cases. Okay, those values I want to use it. Okay, I want to use it while inserting or updating or somewhere. So that is the reason we are creating this. See, the payload will get changed. So what is the scope of payload here? Up to verify the account. Now payload size is 0. Okay, fine. Just observe. Click on F6. Now it will go to insert. See, again the payload will get changed. See, just observe. as soon as the insertion is happened, see what is the payload? Payload, it contains affected rows and generated keys. So every time the payload is overriding, I mean compared to one connector to another connector. Okay, but I want to use my input as, okay, I want to use my input as after, I mean I want to send an email. So sending an email also I want to use account number. So if you go with payload, you will get the error. So that is the reason we are storing all the values into one variable. Okay, fine. It will go here, email body. See, if you go to variables, what is our input payload? See, it is not changing at all. So what is our input attributes? The variable scope is entire your project. So you can use it anywhere. If you create one variable here and you can use it entire flow. Okay. So that is the advantage. So it's failing. Okay. So email body. Okay, fine. So it is failing. We'll see. So here we do have this option. What you can do, it can evaluate. INP payload. Cannot coerce null to string. What is the null value? Account number. Is it correct? INP payload dot bank. Bank is available here. See, there is no bank. It is available in the input payload. Okay, it will be available in the attributes. Okay, that is a mistake. So that is the reason. Always you have to go with debug mode. Input attributes. Now we can evaluate. See, now this one is working. Okay. Now we have to make this one. Make these changes. Okay, it's fine. Let's go to another one. Bank. Bank will be available in not in payload. It will be available with input attributes. Okay, it is failing. Again, I'll submit the request. Let's go with 6 now. So it came here. Okay. Now I'll quickly walk through this. See whatever the modifications we have done. Okay, because okay, again why it is failing means okay, it is not at refreshed. Okay, it is not at refreshed. Let me do save all. Okay, it will run in a background. Building 50%. We'll try after this. Building 50%. See, this is one way of doing it. Okay, there is another way. I'll tell you after testing this scenario. Just observe. See here, as soon as the flow is started, there are some attributes. After select operation, it is going to sometime going to make it as 0. But you want to insert, I want to take the payload values. Okay. So here you may get confused, might be, so, okay, I'm passing 6 values. Why it is not traversing with all the 6 values at the entire project? This type of questions, you may get it. Okay. I'll clarify now. Click on send. It came here. The record exists in DB. Oh, the same record, it will be available. I'll go with 555. Now see, payload, it is 0. That means there is no records in a DB. It will go to insert pod. Okay, it will insert the record. It will go to flow reference. In this flow reference, we are going to send out an email. Okay. So while sending an email, we are getting this error. We'll see now. var.input payload.email. So might be that is the reason. Input attributes dot bank. Error while sending an email is null. Okay. Java null pointer exception. Okay. We'll see these variables. Vars dot. See here. What is the attribute name? Mail ID. But what we have given, just observe. See here we have given as a email. Vars dot input payload dot mail ID. Okay, that is the reason it is failing. Again, whenever you make some changes, you have to save all. Let me rename this. Gmail send flow. Just try to understand how the payload is going to overriding here. Okay, how the payload is going to override. So I'll tell you, like, so without overriding the payload, how we can use it. Okay, how we can use it in our entire project. That's very, very important. See, this is also correct. So whatever we are doing, but you have to make sure all the input payload, you have to store it into one variable. One variable, okay? 555, 111. Click on send. Service not available. Okay, now it is available. See, now it came here. So we are going to store all the values. Came to insert part. Insertion is done. Go to email flow, parse template, sending an email. Okay. Email sent successfully. Again, it will come back here. And you are going to send the successful message. So now successfully done. So we have modified our code as expected. Okay, account created successfully with account number. Now we may expect an email also. See, welcome to ViTech Talks. Your account is created successfully with ICICI Bank. Okay. So this one is correct. Okay. Either you can do this way. There is one more method I'm going to explain. Just observe here. Observe carefully. I don't want to use input payload. Okay. I don't want to copy paste my payload into one variable. I want to use the entire payload, whatever I'm passing. Okay. There are 6 attributes. The 6 attributes I want to traverse. I want to traverse with the entire project. Okay. Just observe now. I'm going to remove this one. So this is very, very important. See what are the values you are passing. This is your payload. Attributes, it will come under attributes.query parameters or URI parameters. But payload, it will come from a body. Okay. You have to make sure this. Now, let me do save all for this. So here, whenever you are going to perform any database operations, okay, just observe carefully. There is an advanced option. Okay, there is an advanced option. So here there is a value. I mean, there is an target variable and target value. So here it is overriding. Okay, here it is overriding. But I don't want to override the payload. So what we can do, you can create target variable. Okay, just mention the target variable like, okay, I'll keep it as db response. This is my variable. You can assume db resp. Okay, db resp or xyz. Okay, xyz your variable, but here db response is my variable. So what it will happen? So earlier you can see, right? Okay, the payload is going to override after this action. Okay, after this action. But now it will not be like that. Okay, just observe here. I'll click this one. Okay. I think still it is deploying. So where to change? Go to advanced tab. Okay, go to advanced. Here you need to mention target variable. Automatically it is going to create your variable, and whatever the response it will come, right? Okay, it will come and store into this variable. Okay, suppose there are 10 records from your table. All these 10 records will get stored here, not here. Okay, so if you don't keep this one db response, all these values is going to store it here. Okay, payload. So now your input payload is 6 values. Suppose if you don't create the variable, now target variable contains, suppose there are 10 values. The 6 is going to override with this 10, but I don't want to override this. Okay, so in that case, very, very important, go to advanced tab, target variable and target value. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, it came here. Just observe. Just go to console. Just observe here. What is your payload? We do have variable is this one. Okay. The account number, ATM pin, IFSC code. This will be available in your payload. So after implementing target variable, let's see. I'm going to perform DB operation also. Okay, now you can see the payload is not overriding at all. See, I don't want, see, this is also very, very important interview question. Okay. So how we are not going to override? Okay. So if I don't want to override payload, what is the option you are going to choose? See, by practicing only, you will get to know these kind of things. Okay. So now your payload is this one. Now you may get a doubt. Okay. Where is the response? Where is the DB response? Now we can go to where's. See here, DB response size is 0. Now you got it. But I want to use my payload in my entire project. You need to use target variable. But according to this, you have to change it. Here, you have given the size of payload, right? So instead of size of payload, what you can do? So you are storing the value into DB response, correct? DB response greater than or equal to 1. So you should not use the payload. Now the payload means your input only always. Now the payload means your input. In this scenario, whenever you use target value and variable, okay, keep in mind that you have to verify. Now, even in the insert query, okay, insert query, right? So instead of using input payload, what you can do directly, you can use input payload. For that, you can use DB response. Okay, I'll show you how the value will come and how to take it. So this one scenario is done. Now it is going to this section because just observe here account number. See, now there is no variable at all. So where it will come? Directly it will come from payload.account number. You can remove this. See, now what is your payload? So always your payload will be contains this 6 attributes. That's it, account number. Payload.account number. Okay, payload.account number. So already exists bank. Okay, bank will be in a attributes. Okay, that will be fine. Now you can go to insert. Just observe here. If you see this value, the payload is not overriding because we are using target variable. Okay, so now what you can do? So you can do drag and drop. So wherever it is required, okay, we can do drag and drop. We can do drag and drop. But before that, input payload is this one, right? Okay, let me remove this. I'll keep it as 1. Account number, ATM pin. Okay, just remove this one. Wherever input payload we have given 1. Okay, contact number is 1. Okay, simply. Now I want to take these values from my payload. Okay, that's very simple. Okay, anyway, we are not going to override our payload. Just directly can take it. ATM pin is going to map with this. Okay, just map it. ATM pin. Deposit amount. So there is no field. Okay, there is no logic to deposit amount here while creating an amount. Okay, while creating an account, that's fine. Account number. So this one. See, just you need to drag and drop. That's it. It's very simple. Contact number. It's a phone number. No need to write. Mail ID. You are going to map it with this mail ID. IFSC code is going to map with IFSC code. So now all are fine. But here you have to remove this plus something. Okay. See now our issue is resolved for one case. Now here, see here also we are performing some actions. So make sure, just click on this. You okay. See here, again, if you don't provide target value and variable, what will happen? The payload, it is going to override. So it will give like, okay, affected rows or inserted rows, those kind of things. But here also, I want to keep it as, okay, insert response. I will keep it as insert response. Okay, just go with insert response. Now what is your payload? The 6 attributes, the same attributes. So whatever you are going to pass, that will be common for payload. Okay, it will traverse here also. Now Gmail send flow. Okay, so here also target is there, target value also there. Okay, target I will keep it as Gmail simply. Okay, Gmail. So in this way, the payload is not going to override. The payload is not going to override. So here, congratulations, your account is successfully created with. Okay, I don't want to keep this. Directly you can use. Okay, payload is not traversing from here. Okay, email flow we'll see. So first, let me execute this up to this part. So that there won't be any confusions. Okay, do save all. So it's going to build. See everywhere, you can see target. So this is very important. You have to make sure target variable and target value. So if you don't provide target variable, this payload is going to override. If you provide target variable, payload is not going to override. Okay, you have to make sure this. See here, payload account created successfully with account number. The account number, payload of this. So not variables. Okay, there is no variables. Payload dot account number. But don't get confused for the previous example and this one. But here we are not going to override our payload. Okay, I don't want to override this value. I want to use this payload for my entire flow. So we have to use this one. Okay, it is building. Okay, let it be. Okay, I'll debug one time and I'll go for another topic. Okay. but this one is very, very important. See, in the left hand side itself, you can able to see, okay? So input response, what it will contains. DB response, it will contains these values. Input attributes contains your payload. So payload is an object, so it is not going to override. Let's go here. See, payload, it's not coming for this, okay? Gmail send flow. Target value, this is fine. Target is there, target variable, okay? This will give you the response. Payload is an object, okay? So here it is showing now, okay? Payload, outbound headers. This is another flow, undefined attributes. Okay, let me test it. So it came here. So if I give F6, okay, so you can able to see payload. So it contains 6 attributes. Just observe here. After verifying an account also, just observe. See, I have performed select operation. Is there any change in the payload? No. See, DB response is 0. Okay, because we have created the target value. Now it will go to insert. It will go to insert. See, what is our payload? The payload is same. See, the payload, it didn't get changed. Now go to variables. Okay, insert response. See, if you don't provide the target value, it will get override. Okay, that you have to remember. Next, we'll see, is there any payload? Is it modified? No, right? Okay, so what you can do, I'll go with this Control A, Control C. If we evaluate this one, you will get an error because we are using vars.input.attributes.bank. Okay, this is fine. Bank as string, but this one account number. Just directly can use payload.account number. See, congratulations. Okay, the message is formed here. Now go to send operation. Okay, payload.mail ID. Instead of using payload, directly you can use payload.mail ID here. So this is the value, right? Okay, mail ID, payload.mail ID. Congratulations, account created in so and so bank. Okay, this is available in attributes. Okay, that will be fine. So now let me save it. Hope you have understand. So the payload is not overriding now. So after using target value and variable. Okay, that is very, very important. So by using target value and target variable, by using target value and target variable. Payload didn't get change the entire flow. What payload? Input payload. I'll keep it as input payload. See this input payload, you can use it anywhere. Now let's quickly test this one. Okay, the input is printing. Okay, this button is not enabled. Okay, file save all. I want to show you at the entire flow also. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, it is not showing. Just about. Click on send. Where is this button? See the debugger option, it is not coming. Okay, let me stop and rerun. See, if you don't want to override your input payload, we have to use target variable in the advanced tab for DB operations. For any flow reference, you have to use target. Okay, so wherever you see target variable or target, you have to provide some XYZ. So the response, it will go and store into that corresponding variable so that this payload, it's not going to override. See here, now earlier there were 9 to 10 variables. So that also we have optimized. And another new thing which we have learned today, target variable and target value. Okay. Click on send. Yes, still it is deploying in our local. Okay, it is successfully started now. Just trigger this one. Okay, now see F6. See the payload. Observe the payload itself. Okay. So now the payload. See after performing DB operation, see the payload didn't get changed. So DB response is 0. So it will go to insert. So the insertion also, see after insertion, the payload is didn't get changed. What is the response for input response? Affected rows are 1. Okay, it is inserted 1 row. It will go to Gmail flow. It will go to email body. Okay. Still we are using this one. Okay. I think the latest changes were not yet modified here. So I think where I have modified. You should not use this. That is the reason it is giving an error. Okay. So if you want to test anything, the data wave expressions, what you can do, you can go to evaluate here and you can do that. Okay, at least now I have modified payload dot account number as string. Okay, cool. This time here itself it is failed. Okay, it will go to see how to handle these errors and all. We'll see in a error handling session. Okay, it is successfully started now. I click on send. It will go to send now. Observe the payload. It is not changing. Okay, it will go here. It will go here. It will go to parse template. It will go to send. See even. See now the payload is changed. Okay. So why it is changed? Because here we are using parse template. The target variable, you have to target value and target variable is not available. Okay. So that is what I want to show you. So if you don't provide, the payload will get changed. See now, what is the payload now? See here, this is your payload now. But what is our actual payload? So in that case, what you can do, target value. So I don't want to change this payload. You can use this payload. Target variable is, you can keep it as email content or something. Okay, email content. So this email content, you have to use it in your, while sending an emails. Okay, that is what you have to do. It's already streamed. Okay, that is the reason the payload is overridden. Okay, you have to make sure when we are going to use uh, payload and target variable, you have to verify. I mean, you have to be careful. Okay, so even this advanced tab. Okay, general is there. So anyway, here it is not changing. Now it will go to send because it will fail. So why it is going to fail? So here you are using payload.mail ID, but mail ID it is not available in the payload. The payload it contains only Gmail body and all. Okay, email body. So that is the reason. So now we have modified this one. We'll see. What is the error here? Congratulations, your reason unable to resolve the type of payload. Mhm. Okay, let it be. This time I'll give another account number. It is successfully started. Do F6, 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 F6. It will go to send out an email. Even in the email body, okay, fine. The parse template, what we are using. So this is also very important. So the content, okay, that is fine. F6, it will go to parse template now. Just observe here, see. So earlier it was changed. The payload it was changed because we didn't use the target value and variable, okay. That is the reason. Now again, it will fail. It won't fail, but you will get the different response. We'll see now. So what is the email it is going to generate? Because we are using here, see, payload. So now what is our payload? Payload is input value. But what you need to pick up? You need to pick up this email body or email content you have to print. Correct? So instead of payload, what you need to do? You have to keep it as var start email content. Okay, now we can see what is the payload. Okay, see, payload is not changing at all, but you will get the different email. We'll see now what is the email it is generating. See here, congratulations, your account is created in ICICI, but you are getting the payload. So whatever the input you are giving, but that is not our expectation. So that is the reason you have to make sure. Okay, so what we need to do? Var start what is the variable we have given? Okay, we'll see here. Email content. Var start email content you have to provide. This is how it will work. Okay, but if you don't want to override your payload, you can go with this approach, or else if you want to see previous responses and if you want to go with that, you can use the different one. Okay, that is up to you, but as per industry standards, normally, okay, we'll go with this approach only. So whatever the response, we are going to keep it in a target variables or target value, and we will use this. Triplet send. Okay, it's refreshing. Successfully started. Now go and hit this. Okay, it came here to F6. Okay, it is working fine here up to this part. Now you can see payload. Payload is not changed at all. Now also payload is not changed after parse template. This is very important thing. So this is where we have missed out. Correct? Email content. So if we go with ars dot email content, we'll see. Okay, it is printing everything. Okay, this will work now. Email body, input attributes. Observe the payload. Payload is not yet changed. So even After sending an email also, the payload is same. Okay, successful insertion. See now, it is created successfully. Now we'll see what is an email. See, now we are getting the expected email. Okay, this is one thing. So this is how we are not going to override the payload. We are not going to override the payload. What is the error here? Congratulations, your reason unable to resolve. Okay. Slash text we can go, right? Okay. Let's open here. This is not working. See, these are like warnings. Okay. So these are like warnings. It is not an error anyway. We'll see what is the error here. Congratulations. I'll keep it as JSON only. Payload.account number. Let's make it as string. Reason to unable to resolve. Configuration XML also we don't see any errors. See, whatever the operations we are doing, so automatically it is generating the code for configuration XML. Okay, here you can see. If you want to modify something, here also you can modify. Okay, that's for sure. Scripting language error. What is this error? If I go and verify here, I'll create one variable where bank equal to HDFC. So instead of this, you can use bank. Now payload.account number. So I think fine. Okay. Okay, let it be. So now I'll see after this why this warning is coming. So in order to generate MUnit, what we need to do? So the very first thing, just I'll create it for one. Okay, rest you can create. source test munit. Okay, go to new munit test, create empty test case. So here it will be, there are only two scenarios. One is already account exists and one is creating a new account. Okay. So we can create it easily. Okay. Now, once it is done, what you can do, click on this flow, go to munit, record test for this flow. Windows run project clean. Okay. Clean the project sometimes. Okay. It is deploying. Okay. So meanwhile, you can prepare the input for that. Okay. Ravi, I'm going to create an account in SBI savings Puram. Okay. IFSC code. Okay. SBI. It's fine. So now, after selecting test record option, it will ask for test recorder. Okay. It will wait for the user input. So what you can go and provide from Postman or Thunder client, or you can go to console also. Okay. You can go to console. Just send the sample input. Okay. What you are trying to send. It is recording. Okay. It's input recorded. Okay. It is recorded. Configure test. So here the test name, if you want to modify, you can modify it. Okay. Test account creation. So this is very important. So if you want to mock this data, okay, the same data, just click on this mock this processor. If you want to mock this cache, you can do that, or else you can leave that. Okay. Before call, verify account. Okay. So you have to mock DB calls. So otherwise what will happen? Every time, whenever you run your test case, it is going to hit the database, because this is our code coverage test cases. Okay. How much percentage, I mean, how your code is going to work. So that is what we are going to test. That's it. Okay. Now you have to mock this processor. So if you want to send an email flow also, you can do mocking, or else you can leave it. Okay. That is up to you. This one is done. Click on finish. So one scenario it is done. Now let me create for another one also. Account is exist. Just give right click, go to munit, record test for this flow. Okay, proceed. So in this case, what you need to do? You need to take any existing record which it is already available. Okay. Now it is created. Okay. 4444567888, right? Okay. So I'll I'll create this record as per the test unit. Okay. Then I'll remove this from database. We'll see whether it is going to insert or not. Okay. So how it is going to work. So meanwhile, let me prepare delete from bank transactions where CID equal to 90. Once I record, then I will delete. Okay. So this time I'm going to provide the same input. Okay. Just observe. There is another scenario I want to test it. If you go to logs, DB call account created successfully. This account is already exist. Why it is going for DB call? Okay, we'll see. Customer account creation. Verify account. There is no Munit operation for this. Okay. For cache, we cannot. Okay, mock it. Insert mock this processor. Verify this processor. Is that also mocking? So might be the same record it is storing in a database. Okay, let me take another account number. I'll take this account number. What is the bank? ICICI. It should go to this flow. So it is going for again this flow. Okay. The same way we have to record. Actually, it should not create duplicate records. Okay. Fine. Might be because of we are using cache. Okay. We'll see now. So here, if you go to source main resources, source test resources, yesterday I explained you, right? Okay. All the input and attributes. Okay. It is going to mock here. See, this is like mocking. This is where it is mocking. So we are not going to write anything in a manual. So it's like we are feeding the data. Okay. We are feeding the data for our flow and we are going to test our flows. Let me record this test case and I'll close the session. Okay, waiting for input. So it will check bank name and account number, correct? Okay. Okay, every time it is going to DB response. Okay, let's see what is the logic we have written. In this condition, it is not going. Even there is a record. So how to check the variable size? Okay, is there any way? Let's see here. So earlier we are checking the payload. Okay, size of payload. Size of payload we are checking. Okay, fine. Okay, size of bank. It should go here. Okay, anyway, so whatever we have implemented, I'll see, size of vars.db. Okay, this is error. So this scenario we didn't test. Okay, we'll see now. Size of payload. It is deployed. So it will come here. Okay, there's a DB response. Okay, after this it will come. Just evaluate. Okay, it is giving us false. Okay, that is the reason. That is the reason it is going here. This condition is wrong. Size of vars.db response. You see verify account what it will be available. Okay. See here always this account number. Okay, there is a mistake. So you should not use this payload dot account number. Because of this, it is going always here. Okay, always into else condition. So we are not passing any account number. So it's like null we are passing and we are checking with the bank name. Okay, that is wrong. Okay, now let me record this test case for that. Just click on this flow, munit, record test for this flow, save it. Source test main. Okay. So let's go here and search with that. Okay, 91 and 92. 92 also let me remove. Let's take this account number with the SBI. Okay. So let me check this. So how many accounts will be available? Where customer account number equal to okay, only one. Okay, it's cool. What is the bank? SBI. So I want to create test case for this. Okay, this time it will go and verify in the database and it has to throw an okay. It has to throw record for test. Okay, save it. Proceed. So it will go and verify and it will go to this scenario. Okay, it should go to this scenario. So this scenario we have already recorded. If you want to see recorded information, you can go to source test resources. You can open this. Okay. See what are the attributes you are passing. So what is the payload you are passing? So those we are mocking here. Okay. Just we are mocking. So mocking is nothing but it's like we are feeding the data for this test case. So how it is going to perform. So how we have done for what to say debugging, right? So the same way it will go and verify whatever the input data you are passing, whether these conditions are working fine or not. Okay. Okay, it will wait for the record input. Okay. Let me send this recording and input. Okay, fine. The customer account is already existing DB. Okay, now fine. Customer exist. Click on next. So here we need to mark this processor before DB call. Okay. So I don't want to make a DB call always. So I'm going to mark this data. Okay, that's it. So now we have two test cases. One is for if the account is exist. Okay. One is not exist. We are going to insert. Now try to see how we are going to run these test cases. Go to munit, run test. There is one option. Or else what you can do, go to your test suite. Here we have an option called run munit suite. Okay. Anything will work. So here, if you observe here, just observe here. So how many so far? 0 errors, failures, and 0 runs. So here you can see munit coverage and generator report. So this will tell us like, okay, how your flow or how your code is going to work. Okay, the test cases are running backend. Okay, so meanwhile, okay, I need to delete this 91. Let me delete. You can see, right? Okay. 89. 89 up to 89 it is available. See, now two test cases are passed. See, after it is success, what you can do, you can go and verify here. So everything, it's in a tick mark. So that means whatever the input you are passing for the test cases, it is covering these scenarios. Okay. That's about this one. So here you can see generate report. Okay. So it's like 41%. So like this, we can do code coverage. So anyway, I'll take separate session for code coverage and MUnit if you want. Okay. To explain clearly. See, there is one disadvantage. Like there is some limitations, not disadvantage, it's like some limitations. Wherever you are going to use on error handling, so we are unable to record these options. I mean, we do have an option, right? MUnit record test for this flow, so that we are unable to do it. See, for that and all, you have to create manually. So it's like here we do have options. Okay. Verify call fail mock. Okay, mocking is like you are passing some dummy data. Suppose you want to create a record. See here 89 up to 89 only it is available. So whatever the account number we are passing, so this is not available in our database. Even if we perform test cases. So what we are doing, so it will execute this one, this one. But here it will not perform DB operation because we are mocking the data. So we are saying like, okay, hey, there is one scenario, the data is already available, so that we will make it. It's like the DB response, we are going to mark it as 0. Okay, in that case, it will go here. The DB response is something, it will go here. Okay, so like this, we are going to mock. So that is the reason. See how as many times if you run this test cases, okay, I'll run one more time. This test cases and just observe. Select star from. See, it's covering these scenarios also, like select and insert and those scenarios also, but it is not directly inserting the rows. So that is what we are expecting. Okay. Account created successfully. So this is like we are mocking this data. See, this data we are mocking query parameters. Mock payload. So this is we are mocking. Okay. Payload 1, 2. See. These are the values. Just we are mocking and we are keeping into our project. So this and all automatically it is performing. See now. Okay, I think this is the one previously we have created. So MUnit, it's kind of letting us know like, okay, how the code is going to behave, like the internal logic. So that's what I have explained you, right? Like yesterday. So there is a value is 2 and 3. So you need to perform addition. So the user is expecting 5, but unfortunately you have modified the logic like, okay, a minus b. So now what is the output you will get? -1. See, there is no code errors. There is no code errors, but the actual result and expected results, okay, expected results may get changed. So that is the reason we are going to feed some data to your API, okay, and we are going to test it out, okay, how it is going to work, how it's going to work. Now let's see. See, it's performed select operation, even though insert operation, we are not getting the values, okay. So if you don't do mock, what will happen, okay, while selecting? So whenever you run test cases, automatically it will insert the values. It will insert the values. So instead of doing this, you can create the test cases to insert the values. But as per MUnit, we have to mock the data always. Okay. Yeah, that's it for today. We'll see you in our next session. So just to summarize, so what we have learned today, so we have seen how to optimize, okay, how to remove unnecessary variables and how your code is going to optimize. So that is what we have seen. And next one is we have created MUnits and how to generate code coverage report. That is what we have discussed. And the very important thing, so I don't want to override input payload. Okay. In that case, we are going to use target value and target variable. Okay. This is very, very important. So that is what we have discussed. So please do practice. So whatever we have discussed today, just do practice. Okay. By practicing only, you will get to know. By seeing the videos, okay, or just listening the classes, you won't get the knowledge. Okay. Add the connectors and do debugging. Okay. And you will get to know what you are doing the mistakes and all. Okay. From errors, as many errors we are getting, so that is fine. From errors only we can able to learn any technology. Okay, not only MuleSoft, anyone. Okay. Yeah, that's it for today. We'll see you in the evening session. Thank you.